Hare Krishna. Welcome to our masterclass on the sound healing. So today I'll very briefly give an understanding of what you can look forward to when you do the sound healer training course from Govardhan Ecovillage. So today, sound healing has become a very popular modality of healing. Many people understand the power of sound, and a lot of people actually want to incorporate this for many people it's one of their main modalities of healing. And for some people, especially coming as yoga teachers, they want to add more value to their offerings to their students. So they want to incorporate certain elements of some Ayurvedic understanding, some natural living understanding, and also sound healing also acts as a very good addition to the repertoire for many yoga teachers. So with this catering to this need, we designed the entire curriculum of the sound healer training course in such a way that the idea is not just to impart some technique, but rather to tune yourself to become adept at using this modality of healing. Now, within the broad field of sound healing itself, there are many styles of sound healing, many different instruments. Perhaps the most common one is the Tibetan singing bowls. But here at Govardhan Ecovillage, singing bowls is one of the many varieties of instruments that you'll be exposed to, because the whole approach that the sound healing course or the sound healing offerings that we have here, the approach is the understanding that how, as a healer, it is your consciousness which is really going to bring in a transformation in the client. And so the most important instrument that you will be using in your sound healing offerings is your consciousness. Every other instrument that you will use is just a channel for your consciousness to get transferred across to your client and help them in their own healing journey. And so we have very carefully crafted the entire curriculum, focusing on a lot on developing one's own inner abilities. And that's where there's a lot of emphasis on the sadhana also that goes into as part of the sound healing course. So if you look at the typical structure of the daily schedule, every morning we spend considerable amount of time in our own personal sadhana. And I'll talk about the details of that too. And during the day, we have different classes, a very healthy balance of understanding the theory, the science behind sound healing, and along with it, in fact, by the end of second day itself of the course, you will start conducting mini sessions, and you'll actually start experiencing the power of sound healing. You'll start feeling good as a sound healer just by the end of the second day. That's how we have organized the course, right? So the main approach that we take here at Govardhan Ecovillage is using the power of the 5 elements of nature: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Because all the blockages that we create in our inner space is because of the experiences that we have around in the physical world. And the physical world itself is comprised of these Panchamahabhutas. So the strategy of the sound healing that you will see here is how, when we expose ourselves to the pure vibrations of these 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, it creates a positive resonance within the client, and thereby creating a balance in the otherwise imbalanced inner state, right? So which means the sound healer needs to become adept at learning to connect with the sound of the 5 elements. Therefore, the entire sadhana during this course is focused on deepening one's connection with sound and deepening one's connection with the five elements. So we have very, very specific exercises where we connect with the earth element, we connect with the water element. We have a beautiful Vrindavan forest and a Yamuna, a flowing river Yamuna. So we actually do very specific exercises every day in the morning. We go there and do some exercises trying to connect to the energy of water and trying to imbibe that, which you will bring in during the session when you are actually practicing with the instruments, right? Likewise, there is the specialized sun dance wherein you learn to invoke the element of fire within you. We use specialized breath work to connect to the air element, right? And of course, using mantras, how to connect to the higher element, the ether and the higher elements. So the whole sadhana is focused on developing your own personal connection to the sound and tuning yourself first. Because when you are tuned, then the instrument is secondary, right? So that's the main approach that we have here. And so while the sadhana has its own important standing, there is a lot of exposure given to different kinds of different kinds of instruments. So as I mentioned about the five elements, so we train you how to interact, how to create these energetic vibrations using, for example, for the earth element, we use there's a solid granite block which can be used to produce earth sound. Then for water, you can use beautiful ocean drum and the rain stick and certain rattles which have the component of earth and water. Then how to use the thunder drum to create that fire element, the shamanic drums to create that intensity of fire. How you can use flute and ocarina and so many other instruments that can invoke the air element, and how you can use the overtones in different instruments to create the ether element. So while all these untuned instruments, so as you can see, these are all untuned instruments, there is also a lot of emphasis given on the tuned instruments like plate bells and gongs, right? And tubular bells and so on. So this way, there is, you will get a very wide exposure to almost 20 different instruments of both the tuned and the untuned categories. And while you're using these instruments, the understanding is how we can use and there's a proper structure, because like I said, it's your consciousness which is the main healing element, but still that consciousness needs to be directed in a proper structure. So we also teach students how to pace, how to structure your entire sound healing session. And we also go into details of how, when you're conducting one-to-one sessions or sometimes group sessions, how the structure needs to be varied, and sometimes how to understand the requirements of your clients and thereby catering to the specific needs of your clients. Sometimes people will bring in different kinds of ailments, sometimes different levels of or different kinds of blockages in their physical and mental bodies. So understanding the problem, diagnosing the problem, and thereby producing curating sessions in such a way that it can address their specific concerns. So the whole science of how to curate a session, what is the logic behind using these different instruments, when to use which kind of instruments. So that forms the whole theory aspect. Of course, we also go into a lot of traditional understanding of the Sankhya yoga philosophy, which is the foundation of sound healing, and Nada yoga concepts, right? So while we cover certain traditional Vedic concepts, we also include certain modern scientific concepts, understanding the different structure of sound, what brainwave entrainment is about. So we cover these aspects also. So with a balanced understanding of the traditional and the modern approaches, and more importantly, working on yourself as a sadhaka, as a practitioner, as a healer, right? How to work on yourself, what are different cleansing practices you need to use before and after sessions, right? So that you can also protect your own energies. So that way, this is a very well rounded package. And the structure of the course and the curriculum and the schedule is all put up on our website and in our information socials. So we encourage you to utilize this opportunity. And this is perhaps even from the responses we've had across the batches that we've had, many of our students, it's in just 5 days they got the confidence to start their own yoga studio, in their own sound studios. Many of them are already doing this as a practice, and they're doing quite well. So we and of course we are there, we support our students even post the courses, helping them in setting up their setup, how you can use the concepts of sacred geometry in organizing your space, how you can where to procure your instruments, right? So when you join for the course, you don't have to get any instruments. All the instruments will be provided here. You'll be practicing on the instruments that you already have. And once you leave the course, because people connect to different instruments accordingly, right? So we encourage people to start with those instruments that they have connected with, because ultimately your connection with sound is very important to become a sound healer. So we accordingly encourage them, guide them, and provide them sources to procure the instruments. And also once they start their own setup, we provide them guidance in terms of how to curate certain sessions based on the instruments that they have. And sometimes people come to them with different kinds of problems, so we also offer that kind of a support. So this way, this is a very well-rounded and holistic sound healing course, and we thoroughly encourage you to take benefit of this. So yeah, so if please do get back to us if you have any further queries about the sound healing course. And please do contact us on our socials, or you can just drop us a mail, and we will get back to you with your queries. And yeah, and very soon we are starting from 8th of June, 8th to 12th, we are having our next sound healer teachers training course. And with this batch, we have very limited seats left, so please do enroll very soon and utilize this opportunity. So thank you all so much. Hope you utilize this. I will pass on the stage to Aarti ji, who will enumerate the other courses that we are offering. Thank you so much.
We cannot hear you.
Aarti ji, I think there's some audio issue here. We're not able to hear you yet. Do you want to maybe just check if...
How is it now? Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Now it's better.
Okay.
We can hear
Okay.
you very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. So today I'm here to explain more about an amazing yoga healer course. And I personally felt that this is like unlocking your inner Sanjeevani. We might have felt, for those who will be hearing this information even later through recordings, you are already into yoga maybe, and that's why you might got attracted to actually pursue this course or know more about it. But have you ever felt that even after a beautiful yoga class, sometimes there's still quite a longing within, a deep desire for peace, understanding, or some kind of more release that feels just out of reach. Now, many of us must have begun our yoga journey seeking fitness or stress relief. And definitely, yoga offers immense benefits. Sometimes, uh, however, our deeper challenges, anxieties, some old patterns, or emotional burdens, they feel like they are still there. And even if you're doing some of the perfect alignments or breathwork in the class. So today, in this small introduction session, we're going to explore what it truly means to be a yoga healer, uh, and not just for others actually, but as Nimalila Prabhu said, that primarily also all this healing is for ourselves as well. It is actually about tapping into that Sanjivani, the life restoring essence within us to bring more profound healing and transformation. So maybe we are practicing yoga, our heritage, as maybe an Indian or from some different country you are joining us today. And definitely asana and pranayam are powerful and sacred tools. We all know that how they help us building strength, they calm the mind and regulate our energy. We know that yoga definitely helps with the physical and mental well-being. However, there is a catch here. With our life experiences, challenges, setbacks, heartbreaks, some unresolved emotions, something that we might have gone through in our childhood, it just sometimes does not vanish when we finish our yoga practice. And all these experiences of our lives can leave subtle and sometimes even deeper imprints within our bodies and minds. I will give you an example here. Imagine you have a beautiful home. You keep it clean and decorate it beautifully. Like your home is your body right now, let's assume like that. And you keep it clean and maintain it, decorate it regularly, let's say through asana and pranayam. But what if there are already some cracks in the foundation from an old earthquake that happened, or there has been a leaky pipe from years ago, and that's causing the dampness inside your house? You can keep cleaning, but until you fix the foundation and the pipe, the problem is still going to persist, right? And this is why the deeper healing sometimes is essential, and this can be a beautiful missing link for many yoga teachers who also realize that what they're giving with all their heart, like the breath work, the poses, or even like some small meditations, it's still not bringing the deeper impact, or healing is not happening in the classes. So this is a time where through yoga healing modalities, we learn to address these deeper imprints on ourselves, on others whom we are planning to help. And it is not just beneficial, but nowadays it is actually very essential. You know, that brings me to my next point of how this different modalities of yoga healing that we're going to discuss today around mindfulness, meditation, trauma-informed yoga, inner child, it actually helps to restore or regulate our nervous system. Let's assume that our nervous system is like our inner guru or inner rishi. Yeah. So you can, for now, you can just think of your nervous system as your body's rishi, Muni. It's a wise sage, constantly observing, interpreting, and responding to your inner and outer world all the time. It's that great master controller of our well-being. And we have these two key modes of this nervous system, or the sage operates on the two key modes. One is city mode. I'm just using this example. One is city high alert mode, and one is peaceful ashram mode. Because I just compared nervous system rishi, I'm just giving you this example here. So this high alert mode is your sympathetic nervous system. You might have heard about this concept, which are so much essential and foundation um, around healing. And of course, in the courses that we're going to conduct, we will explore this even more. But just understand that the high alert mode, the city mode, is sympathetic. This is like when we hear some sudden loud noise, our body or some any kind of overstimulating sounds around us, our body goes into this fight, flight, or freeze mode. And this is for survival, or if we see any danger. But if you are constantly into this mode due to, which is a possibility nowadays, due to some stress, deadlines on, or we are going through some unresolved worries, it leads to anxiety, tension, poor digestion, and eventually a lot of toxins in the body. Even the sleep is an issue at that point, right? So nowadays, see, we were given this high alert mode, which is important for survival, but barely we use it for survival. We definitely have better security than the previous primitive time. But now we are into high alert mode quite often just because of our regular lifestyle, when we have to turn up for some event or work. We have deadlines, we receive some email which needs to be replied quickly, or some worries or some stress, unresolved relationship, etc., etc. So we are always on the high alert mode, and being on the high alert mode for a long time is the main cause why people don't experience deep healing or disease management or reversal. So how to switch to the other mode, which is, let's say, the peaceful ashram mode or parasympathetic. And what is it like? This is like meditating in a quiet ashram where you once you come to Govardhan Ecovillage, you will see that we have so many places here where one can go into the deeper stages of meditation just being around the place here. This is a state of rest, repair, and connection. Our body calms down here, it digests food properly, heals, and we feel safe and connected with our own selves. And this is where true healing and regeneration happen. So we have to create some surrounding which is favorable for healing as well. Now, we might have heard about the word trauma a lot, right? So, when we experience any kind of deep emotional pain or any kind of past difficult events, what we call trauma in the broader sense, normally, our nervous system can get stuck in that high alert mode, the sympathetic mode that I'm talking about, even when we are safe. Let's say the whole pain or that event is over, but body keeps all the score. And because we don't feel safe, sometimes we won't even have that awareness that I'm stuck, but that is the reason why we might be struggling with a lot of things around us. So we are always in the high alert mode even when we are safe now with our environment. We might feel constantly restless, irritable, or even disconnected from our own selves. So, what we will learn in this course is we will learn the art of gently moving the body. So, body based practices to lovingly guide your nervous system back into its peaceful ashram mode, allowing deep relaxation and profound healing. Like, can imagine here consciously shifting from feeling of being on edge before a big family gathering, let's say, to a calm, centered presence. That's the powerful understanding of your inner rishi. So, switching from this state to the more peaceful state is really important. Another aspect of this course is going to be focusing on the module mindfulness and meditation. And this is literally like taking, we take a lot of outer darshan with our eyes. So taking, understanding mindfulness and meditation is more like the inner darshan. And simply observing our present experience without any judgment. Um, it's about truly being here and now. That state is very important. one pattern that I commonly see when I talk to people, even in my yoga classes or just having an interaction or some sharing circles, most of the people are either in the past, which means some guilt is there, resentment is there, hurt, or there some regrets are there, which means some sadness is experienced because of certain things that happened particular way. And another group of people I see is they are rushing in the future by being anxious all the time. What if this happens? What if that happens? So now is very powerful, being in now. And this is so challenging sometimes in today's world, with even deeper impact of social media surrounding the nature of our jobs, our lifestyle, our nervous system, as I spoke before. We're always either in the past or in the future. So when we develop the art of being mindful, we also develop the awareness through, our breath, thoughts, and sensations in the body. And there are several different ways of cultivating mindfulness, not just in the yoga class or on the mat, but one can actually practice lot of mindfulness techniques off the mat as well. And this gives a beautiful healing modality or an add-on to your regular asana and pranayam class, where you can add some stages of mindfulness leading to meditation eventually. Meditation is a deeper practice of awareness, of training this awareness that we are talking about, leading to more greater clarity, inner peace, and some even profound spiritual insights. So meditation is definitely a little bit of advanced in nature, but mindfulness is usually a first stage. I have seen this one thing in also when I discuss certain topics like this in our yoga community, that what is the obstacle when it comes to healing, yoga therapy. Many participants who are yoga teachers, they share with me that we know what the student or the person who wants to heal actually wants, but they are not grounded enough. They are so much deep into this states of anxiety, worry. So is it too late, or how do we do? Because they are not able to even meditate, they are not able to develop the awareness faculty, and that is so important for healing. So this is where many teachers also get it wrong, that we have to push students to do meditate, like sit silently or hear some audios. Sometimes they need to be put through that stage slowly. And this is where mindfulness comes in picture, just by starting with a simple things like reducing the stress, or just observing our thoughts and emotions as passing clouds, creating more safer space for our triggers, and developing more of the self-compassion in the process. So this is really crucial for all the yoga healers as well, who are trying to heal others and themselves. So obviously, as I always say, that to truly guide others on their healing path, we must first have, or at least we have to try or begin the process of our own inner lamp that has to be lit, right? So this practices of mindfulness and meditation are actually like that foundational tapasya, as in yoga, for developing inner calm. And if we develop this ourselves, we can be more authentic healers as well. So, yeah, mindfulness is a beautiful practice, I feel. And it's not that one has to be on the mat. There are several ways that one can use mindfulness concepts, or the whole idea of mindfulness is like a lifestyle. And how to give that, and what are the things that are to be included, is something we're going to discuss and practice also in an elaborative way in this program. Okay. The next aspect that we're going to focus in this course is also something really important, I realized, is embracing our, child within. So inner child healing, because we might have heard this, or maybe you're experiencing it sometimes. We all carry within us the echoes of our past, especially from our childhood. So our inner child, that Swaroop, represents those younger part of ourselves that experienced joy, but also perhaps unmet needs, fears, or pain. So Now, unhealed wounds from our inner child can manifest in our adult lives big time sometimes as patterns like self-doubt, people pleasing, not having proper boundaries, fear of abandonment, dependency issues, anxiety, or overall difficulties in relationships. We might unconsciously end up reacting from this younger, vulnerable parts, thinking all the time that, hey, I'm trying my best, but I don't know why do I behave in certain way, or why am I holding some anxiety or fear around me. So inner child healing is a beautiful process which involves connecting with this younger parts of ourselves, of course, with compassion, understanding. That's what we learn in the whole process of inner child. It's not very harsh, where you want to kind of really all the time go back to those things. There is a process where we also go back to the actual events that has caused some wounds to us, but it's also about becoming more wise through some practices, loving parent. You actually become a loving parent yourself to that part of you that always needed, providing the love, validation, and safety that might have been missing in your childhood. And why this is essential for healers actually. So when we heal our inner child, or when we help someone to heal their inner child, we become more emotionally resilient, authentic, and also, especially if we want to become healers, we also become capable of holding space for others' vulnerabilities, without our own wounds getting triggered all the time. So it's not easy to become a healer actually, because sometimes people might share certain things which might keep triggering you or impacting you. So it's a beautiful process of our own sadhana, our own practice, along with learning the art of helping others, which involves play therapy, also some of the expressive art therapies that is part of this beautiful journey. I personally love inner child healing, not just because it is essential, of course it is, but I love the whole involvement and modalities around. Some of the modalities of inner child are like literally play therapy, getting back to our childhood with colors and artwork. So some of the concepts of may I please request everyone to mute yourself, please? Uh, Everyone, please mute yourself. Uh, Hitesh Prabhu, can you mute someone? I think. Please, everyone, mute yourself. I don't see anyone who is not on mute, but yeah, Rashi. Yeah, please mute. Thank you. Yes, everyone, please stay on mute. At the end, we will definitely take up the question. So yes, going back to the favorite part I was talking about, just, playing with mud and getting in touch with, again, this artwork and expressive art therapy is also something part of inner child that we're going to discuss around. And trust me, it's not just, don't think that this is going to be only for few people who have to work on their inner child. There is no harm. We all have some parts of us inside which still wants to be like a child, and we should nourish that on a regular basis. So expressive art therapy, artwork, play therapy is something we're going to discuss, which will help you to kind of, even if you don't have any deeper wounds from your childhood, but it will help you to keep your energy alive by getting in touch with those uh, childlike part of you. Yes, and obviously on a heavier side, if you have gone through certain issues in the past, it's a powerful key to break your even generational patterns of sufferings. Like if you think that there some pattern of behaviors are passing down like a lineage, or it's in my DNA or something, but definitely inner child healing is important. It's really important because remember one thing, like an example here, if a young you, like the young you felt unheard, uh, as an adult you might struggle to speak up for yourself. So some example like how something happening to you in your childhood impacts your adult. This is just one example. In the inner child healing module that we have, we are going to explore several patterns that if this happened in your childhood, then most likely this is how you turned up as an adult. So inner child work then helps you to lovingly hear and validate that younger part which never got heard, and empowering your adult self to freely express your needs and many more other things around it. Okay? So that's around inner child. And the next module that we have is trauma informed yoga. This is a little bit new concept, at least in India, but in the West, if you see, lot of teachers are actually empowered and running spaces, holding spaces for people who have gone through some trauma, because no matter how nice and powerful yoga or pranayam class can be, but sometimes even traditional yoga classes are definitely powerful, but can sometimes unknowingly trigger individuals with unaddressed emotional wounds, like fast flows, hands-on adjustments, or certain intense breathing techniques might not feel safe, or some words used by teachers could actually re-traumatize. So trauma is not just a big dramatic event. It's like any experience, whether a single shock or an ongoing stress that overwhelms our natural ability to cope situations, leaving us feeling helpless or unsafe. And it could be anything that we might have experienced, like neglect, prolonged family stress, bullying, some grief, or some shocking incident, anything like that. So as I mentioned, that no matter how the yoga class can be powerful, traditional classes, but it has to be trauma sensitive or trauma informed, especially when you know somebody is going through certain things. So what is trauma informed yoga? It's about actually creating a more safe and sacred environment for the liberation of this trauma. So it's not that a teacher actually releases trauma. The teacher helps in creating a safe environment through a class uh, by certain practices like empowering students to choose what feels right for their body and designing practices around that. Very clear, gentle instructions and structure of the class is different than regular yoga class. Boundaries are maintained, like respecting someone's personal space, empowering language, guiding without demanding anything. If you see, traditional yoga classes sometimes are not so much respecting the personal space. The whole vibrations feels like pushing yourself into the practice. And especially if someone is holding a lot of emotional stress in the body, the whole yoga practice can feel very triggering, and the person might never want to get back to yoga again. So we have to present yoga in a little different way. It's the same practice. I'm not saying that we are distracting ourselves or diverting from some classical concept of healing and well-being. It's very similar, but with some boundaries, with some more of the predictable, like, the way we are predicting the outcome, structuring the class, choice that we give them. So remember, it's not about fixing trauma. Through everything that I mentioned, what we are doing is we are creating conditions for the person's body or our own bodies, uh, innate wisdom, the wisdom that is already there, to self-regulate and heal. Sometimes person with trauma struggles in self-regulation and so cannot pave a path for healing. So this is where actually the whole story comes here, that we become a small instrument with some really important tips and tricks that are important, because we don't want to re-trigger their trauma. So there are some rules and regulations that we follow for these classes, through which we inspire their own nervous system, their body, to self-regulate and find deeper healing. Yeah. One thing around trauma that we all should know, or might be knowing if you work with some of the people around like this, is our bodies are incredible storytellers. They store all our experiences. Many people find this a little crazy when I speak this in my class, especially for people with a background of know nothing around trauma, or don't know how emotions, mind, body are actually connected and plays role in my physical health. They really feel that how my body is storing experience. And this is where I introduce the concept of 5 layers of our existence, which of course we will also study in detail in our courses. Because to understand a little bit around just the physical body is incomplete approach to yoga anatomy. We need to also understand subtle anatomy, that how pranically, energetically we store our experiences, what bodies we have, and why every body is impacting eventually our physical body and vice versa. So trauma informed yoga is something where we respect this aspect of that we just don't exist with our physical body, but our body also is multidimensional, and they store experiences in the form of energy, blocked energies. So trauma informed yoga gently allows the body to release stored tensions and emotions. And there are particular movements slightly different. I will also introduce in this module a little different modality which I've learned from some teachers from the West and also some teachers from India. Not just only some classical asana, but also some movements, somatic movements. This is soma means body, and movement means moving a body in a particular way to release some stored tension and emotions in a way that feels safe and self-directed, honoring our body space. So it's not going to be pushing someone into that movement. It's very easy and more open, where a person feels little more okay and safe to do this in spite of storing things in the body. So why this is so crucial or important to respect people who have gone through some big intense emotional stress or trauma? Because as modern, modern, when I say modern, what I mean is more relevant and current yoga teachers and healers, it is actually our ethical responsibility, and also coming from the space of compassion, to understand how stress and past experiences of someone can impact their body and mind. This is a missing link with many yoga instructors or physical trainers. They only see a person and understand their current flexibility and give them some practices. But as holistic healers is what this course is all about, right? It is our moral duty to understand what they have been holding on to from the past. And this allows us to guide our students with utmost sensitivity and prevent more trauma to them. Yes. So, I'll just give you a quick example how trauma informed classes are different than regular classes. It's like instead of telling them go deeper into the pose, is what we keep saying in our regular class. The trauma informed cue or instruction might be notice what your body needs right now and choose the expression of the pose that feels most supportive to your body right now. This is empowering the students' inner wisdom. This is how we, the cues, the way we speak certain things in the class is so different. So, how to take case study then, or sorry, when I say case study, I meant how to take a case history of someone, the teaching methodology, planning the class, how to know more about the student, questionnaires, all of these things is also, of course, a part of the course. And off the mat, what homework, practices, worksheets, mindfulness things you can give to these people is also something that is part of the course. You will receive lot of resources around worksheets, mindfulness, ideas, homework, artwork that you can give to the students, right? And coming a little closer to the end of the module, anything that I speak around trauma, inner child, mindfulness, or expressive art therapies, everything is incomplete without understanding our energy centers. So the chakra system, which I definitely have a deep rooted love for, and I resonate so much with that since few years now with my own personal practice, and the way I'm sharing that and the way it has impact on everyone. I realize that how this knowledge becomes a foundation, um, of our ancient Indian wisdom around chakra system. It offers a beautiful map of our subtle energy body, connecting our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So, of course, right from our 7 main chakras, associated with our life themes, emotional qualities, physical areas, including traumas as well. So this is how we connect every topic to eventually. So when we work, although I spoke about nervous system in the beginning, so when we work with our nervous system, we release some emotional stress or trauma and start healing our inner child. We are mindful. We are simultaneously and like surprisingly, we are also clearing and balancing our energetic centers. And therefore, understanding the chakras provides an additional lens, kind of a thing, additional lens through which we understand ourselves better and our students' healing journeys as well. If you are something looking forward to heal others, it gives us that beautiful chance through our knowledge, through our contemplation, to raise our consciousness. We know where do we it gives us a direction actually. Yeah, because eventually if healing is just about releasing something, we also need to know that once we release something that is not serving us, now what do I want to invite in my life? How do I want to raise my consciousness from where I am now after healing? So chakra is something that I feel definitely gives us our the innate purpose of our life, connecting with our higher consciousness eventually. And that is like I feel is also a goal, a final goal of any healing or yoga for that matter. Yeah. So through chakra module that we will see, you will learn how to sense imbalances in this energy centers, and you can incorporate some specific targeted practices which revolves around meditation, sounds, like how Nimalila Prabhu spoke about sound healing. So there is a connection of that as well, definitely. Movements, and that support healthy flow, leading to more vibrant flow of prana throughout the body. For example, let's say if someone constantly feels anxious, ungrounded, unstable, it can be linked to one of our root chakras. So this is just an example, but through our classes, we'll explore more practices to bring stability and safety to this fundamental energy center. Maximum trauma sometimes is connected to our root chakra as well, right? So why this course? Because definitely I feel it's your missing link now. Because if you are already into some fitness, you resonate towards helping someone on their emotional, mental well-being, and you like yoga as a tool, then definitely it is your path to becoming a true yoga healer. It's not just about collection of techniques that you get everywhere. It's a beautiful integrated journey that weaves together ancient Indian wisdom with modern scientific understanding. You will learn to understand the relationship between your body, mind, emotions, nervous system, and energetic body. Yeah. So I just feel personally that you will gain a lot yourself from this course, even if your goal right now might be to become a healer so that you can help others. But I feel you'll experience profound self healing through contemplation of this knowledge that you will receive and practices. And obviously, that will lead to personal transformation. You will be able to hold space which is more compassionate for yourself and others. You will have a comprehensive and holistic understanding, deeply rooted in both tradition and also modern science. We have a module around teaching methodology also, that how to incorporate everything that we will learn in your regular yoga, pranayam, or the entire class of healing. How do you do that actually? So you will get the confidence to address complex emotional and energetic needs, just going beyond physical. Yeah. So yes, of course, there will be a certification and all that, but it's not just about certification. It's about embodying the principles of healing and becoming that ambassador or a beacon of calm, wisdom, and genuine care for yourself, extending to your family, extending to your community. So if you feel ready to deepen your personal practice, heal old patterns, and step into this potential world, this potential healing space for both for yourself and anyone around you, then if this journey resonates with you right now, I invite you to learn more about our comprehensive yoga healer course through our we have website. We have more details on that. We are also sending the module circulars on our pages. If you're following our page or if you are part of our WhatsApp group, then more details are definitely there, right? So I'm done from my side here. If anyone has any question or any doubts, I request Hitesh Prabhu to kindly put, if he's still there, to put a number here so that if anyone wants to connect, can do that. Yes, how can I join this class? Actually, this is going to be uh, this is going to be an offline class. This is at so RRD. I don't see your full name, so addressing you as your abbreviation. So this is going to be at the wonderful premises of Govardhan Ecovillage. This is a residential course. So
You're done?
yes, yes, I'm done. Prabhu. So you can give the
Yeah.
details.
So thank you all for joining. How many of you actually would can make it for the residential program at Govardhan Eco Village? If you can just unmute and say that you're really interested in coming and it's possible for you to come in this June batch, then if you can just yeah. So how many of you want it online? Can just put a quick thumbs up in the chat, because we need to take a call. If
Yeah. So
ideally we
based on
want to
the
do this
poll,
program. Yeah.
yeah, based on the poll, then we might as well do this online if
Yes. Yes.
more participants are interested.
Can
So,
everyone chat? Okay. Okay. I think so.
so definitely, I just want to add one line here before you put your poll. I understand life is busy and maybe you're not even in India, but coming here at Eco Village and actually connecting with the elements of healing like nature and community and like-minded people, that has definitely a very different impact. So that is the reason we also are hosting this offline, of course, for fewer people maybe who would be interested. But yes, we understand that we all are tied up with our own lives, so we might consider it doing online for others.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the
Yes.
response. And yeah, thank you very
So
much.
stay connected. We have put
Yeah.
the number here. Please check in the chat box. Stay connected for whatever online or offline stuff on this number, and we will update you shortly around the dates. Also, the email ID is given if you have more questions later on. And if you think you are in the like-minded community of yoga teachers or anybody who is keen, please share. We have already put this on YouTube. It's going on. So please share these recordings for those who want to know more about this program or they are confused what's going to be the part. So please share. That will be also a very nice seva that you can do in case if you're not able to join right now. So thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you here or online. Namaste. Thank you.